In my last video, I took this secondhand mantle down to bare wood and gave it a fresh coat of paint. And today, I am finally finishing this project. Hang out with me as I mount the mantle, brick the hearth and surround, and attach the brass doors. And stick around and decide for yourself. Would my faux fireplace actually fool you? Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you and tell you I have no idea what I'm doing and I don't know if this is gonna work. I have spent weeks, if not months, playing out in my head how I'm gonna do this. This is just the best that I can come up with. So bear with me. Sure, I've said this earlier in the video, but I bought this used. Somebody pulled this mantle out of their house. So it was already cut and like the edges were, I can tell that they were scribed to fit whatever wall it was against. So I'm really working with a very customized piece, but it was customized for somebody else's house. And so I'm just trying to like work with what I have. I've cut some strips of this plywood. I'm just gonna put these pieces here like this. And then I have another sheet of plywood that I'll show you in a minute that's going to fit down on top of this and cover up this whole thing. Okay, so like where I'm sitting will be solid plywood. So the next step is for me to attach this to here, and I guess I'm just gonna use liquid nails and then use my 1.25" finish nails to go through. Why do these say 1.5"? I picked up 1.25". I swore I picked up 1.25". These are 1.5". I will have to go see if I have 1.25". Boy, I'm glad I saw that before I shot through. Well, surprise, I don't have finish nails in the correct length. Whoops. But I've got some screws. Screws would really work better, honestly, in like sucking this down. Let's just try this. Let's just try this. Smart. These screw heads aren't gonna work. This is not gonna work. I can't use these screws. Why does this not dawn on me before? I need something with a flat head because I need to lay my other piece of plywood on top of here and that can't be there. So maybe I can just let my liquid nails dry here with this like being sucked in with the screws, and then I can take the screws out. Why is this just now dawning on me? Duh. I can't countersink these enough into the plywood. It'll go too deep and come out the front. Silly. The screw heads are, I don't know if you can see this, but they are just rounded enough that it wouldn't let next sheet of plywood like fit on it. Yeah. Well. I have to go get some more screws. Is it even a DIY project if you don't have to leave a million times to go to the hardware store? I expected it. Okay, it is now several hours later. I'm back from the hardware store. I have 1.5" screws now. I'm going to take these screws out and then I will glue my new piece on and screw through both pieces of my plywood and into the plywood of the mantle. up and see what we've got. Ow. Oh. Look at that! We freaking did it! Yay, Beasley! Yay! Yay! Do you need to go pee? All right, let's go pee. Hang on. Okay, so moving right along. The next thing I gotta do is somehow figure out how I'm gonna attach the brass doors to the plywood. As you can see here by this crack, that the doors do not sit flush up against, because it has this thing that juts out, and then that at the bottom, let me zoom in, this little guy here at the bottom juts out. So that hits first. I'm the most ridiculous. Last time I was working on getting the doors attached to the plywood of the fireplace, it was just becoming more and more evident to me that it was going to be very difficult to get those doors to sit on the plywood flush without like cutting a bunch of holes through the plywood. And so I started trying to take it apart. I thought I was gonna be able to like remove some of the stuff. Anyway, I was like drilling out rivets and taking screws out. Before I knew it, pretty much disassembled glass doors from the brass surround accidentally. I don't know. I couldn't tell how they were connected. Ended up taking it apart on accident. I was so frustrated, but I just looked on Facebook Marketplace because you could find brass doors. And so now I'm on my way to buy another set of brass fireplace doors. You know, I feel like a lot of things can be forgiven and looked beyond when you're watching an amateur video here on YouTube. But for me, bad audio is one thing I have a very hard time putting up with, and it is killing me that my audio here is so terrible. Please accept my sincerest apologies. I couldn't find my mic when I was videoing, and I have no idea what I'm doing in Premiere Pro, which is what I use to edit my videos. Like, I truly have no idea. And the more time I spend trying to fix this sound, the worse it's getting. So please know that I am aware, and I'm very sorry, and no one is more annoyed right now than I am. So yeah, here's the second set of doors I got, and they're a lot better. Old Mill Building Products sent me a few boxes of their thin brick veneer to use on this project. Old Mill offers genuine kiln-fired clay brick veneer in dozens of colors, styles, and patterns too. I went with the color called Columbia Street since it offered a good mix of browns and terracotta shades that complemented my beige pink walls. I first dry tested a couple of different patterns, but ultimately decided on just the typical bricklay pattern. I'm very nervous to start this. I've avoided it and I've procrastinated all I can. It's time to do this. I think I'm just so hesitant because I know that there's not a professional in their right mind who would ever just glue brick to the floor. I'm starting off not doing it correctly, but I don't know. This is just the way I'm gonna do it anyway. I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet. I have preemptive regret. my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in my defense, this is a vinyl floor on top of a concrete slab. If this had been a real solid hardwood floor, or a wood of any kind, I would not have glued this brick directly to a wood floor because of the movement. Wood just moves too much. I thought, I could go ahead and kind of cut out this vinyl where I wanted this hearth to be, but why? Because if I do change my mind someday and want this hearth removed, I'm just gonna have to cut the vinyl out then. So I don't know. I'm not telling you that this is the smartest idea to do. I'm not telling you to do this in your own house. I'm just telling you this is what I did. And so far it's worked fine. So yeah, just, proceed with caution. I let the construction adhesive dry overnight, and the next day we moved the mantle into place and screwed it into the studs. After that was secured, we centered the doors into place and I traced around them with a pencil. After I measured and marked my bricks where they needed cutting, it was go time.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm working, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's growing over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you.
I think I would rather it drier than wetter. I don't know. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's go. Squeeze. dry, but can we see? There we go. Oh, there we go. I may have to cut the tip off this bag. This is a wood biscuit. It's all I could find. How good that looks. Even though it's not like 1000% finished quite yet, I need to caulk around it and then touch up the paint where I caulk it eventually. But I can do that later because right now I have more important things to do, and that is get this mantle and the house decorated for Christmas. So those videos are coming up just as soon as I possibly can. I've got my decorated Christmas tree literally right here. I tried very hard to keep it out of all these shots because I wanted to save the Christmas tree for my Christmas decorating video. So anyway, those will be posted up just as soon as I possibly can. So I hope that you will come back and see this room and the new mantle decorated for Christmas really, really soon. Okay, bye.